Welcome back, student. In this video I am going to show you the solution of question number 6 of exercise 6.1. Till question number 5 we have already solved the questions, and today you can see on your screen our sixth question from the same exercise, that is exercise 6.1. Now see the question. It is given that angle XYZ, its measurement is 64 degree and XY is produced to the point P. Draw a figure from the given information. If ray YQ bisect angle ZYP, then we need to find what will be the measurement for this angle XYQ, and reflex angle QYP. Now see, based on the information whatever given in this question, let us draw the diagram for the given informations. That means you can see, first of all we are going to draw this angle XYZ, and its measurement, since it is given 64 degree, so we are going to draw this angle XYZ in this way. You can see this 64 degree, this angle is formed at which point? See the middle letter, at Y. So this is our angle 64 degree and it is formed at point Y. So we are going to name here Y, and here you can write X, Y, and here Z. Okay. Now see, we have already drawn this angle XYZ and its measurement, it is given 64 degree. Now we are going to follow this instruction. See here, XY is produced to point P. Which ray? This arm XY, this arm of this angle XYZ, we need to produce till which point? Till point P. So we are going to produce this angle, this arm of this angle XY in this direction. Suppose here the point P lie. This is Y. Okay. So we followed the same instruction. We have produced the arm XY of angle XYZ till the point P. Now see, a new angle is produced here. See, this is the new angle, isn't it? What is the name of this angle? ZYP, or you may name in this way PYZ. That means on producing the arm XY of angle XYZ to point P, a new angle is produced here, and the name of the new angle thus formed is ZYP. Now you can see in the figure, on producing XY to point P, these two angles. Now see, XYP, what type of line? It is a straight line, and as we know, angles formed on the same straight line, some of the angles formed on the same straight line is 180 degree. So we are going to start the solution also. Solution. See, we are going to add these two angles, and sum of these two angles, as you know, it will be 180 degree. So we are going to name of this angle XYZ, angle XYZ plus angle, this angle ZYP. These two angles are adjacent angle formed on the same straight line. So their sum it will be 180 degree. This property is called linear pair. Okay. Now see, one more information it is given in question. Till here we have followed the instruction and we have drawn the diagram also. XY is produced to point P. Draw a figure from the given point. If ray YQ, come to this point, if ray YQ is another ray which bisect angle ZYP. Where is our ZYP? You can see in the figure ZYP. That means this whole angle get bisected if you are drawing this YQ ray. Y is here, letter Y is here, so we are going to draw a bisector, angle bisector in this way, YQ. Remember, YQ is angle bisector of this angle. As you know, angle bisector, if you are drawing, when we draw an angle bisector, it bisects the whole angle into two equal parts. That means this angle will be equal to this. So we can write these two angles are equal. Why? Because YQ is the angle bisector of angle ZYP. So see, since angle YQ, since YQ bisects angle ZYP, so we can write, see, this YQ is bisecting this whole angle, so we can write these two angles, they will be equal to each other. So name of this angle we can write PYQ or QYP, isn't it? So angle QYP will be equal to which angle? This angle. These two angles are equal. Name of this angle ZYQ. ZYQ. Okay, come to the solution part. Okay, these two, sum of these two angles are it is 180 degree, linear pair. So since XYZ, its measurement, it is given in question 64 degree. So in this place we are going to write 64 degree plus angle ZYP equal to 180 degree. Now transfer this 64 degree to that side. ZYP angle we are keeping here on the left hand side. So 180 degree minus 64 degree. Okay, see, now finally we got this statement, this equation, angle ZYP is equal to 180 degree minus 64. This angle ZYP 180, this angle ZYP. So in this place ZYP we can write sum of these two angles, isn't it? So name of this angle ZYQ. Here we are going to write angle sum of these two angles, ZYQ plus angle this, name of this angle PYQ, and on subtracting 64 degree from 180, 116. Okay, in this step we are going to change any one value of this angle. See, since YQ bisect this angle, whole angle ZYP, and we got this, these two angles are equal. So either in place of ZYQ you can write, see, angle ZYQ is equal with angle QYP. QYP same it is PYQ. Okay, so you may change either this or this, any one. So we are going to change this angle ZYQ. See here, angle ZYQ is equal with angle QYP, or you may change this. Okay, so don't get confused, you will have to change in this step any one angle. So keep, now we are going to keep this angle as it is, angle ZYQ, okay, plus angle PYQ. See here QYP, but here PYQ, both angles represent the same, QYP. See here QYP, that means this angle, or you may write the same angle by using these three letters PYQ. So these two angles are same. So in this place, since angle PYQ is equal with angle ZYQ, so in this place we are going to write angle ZYQ equal to 116 degree. Okay, now see, in this step we can add these two angles. these two angles are same, angle ZYQ, angle Z, one angle ZYQ, one angle ZYQ. So it will become twice angle ZYQ equal to 116 degree. In this step, transfer this 2 to that side. So you will get the value of angle ZYQ 116 divided by 2, that is 58 degree. Okay, see, we got angle ZYQ. How much? 58 degree. This angle ZYQ, how much we got? 58 degree. So what's about the measurement of this angle? Remember, YQ bisect the whole angle ZYP. So these two parts are equal. We have already written here. So if it is 58, be sure it is also 58. Both angles it will be of same measurement, that is 58 degree each. So see, since we got angle ZYQ, this angle we got 58 degree. So this QYP also it will be same, QYP or PYQ. So we can write therefore angle PYQ or QYP, it is also 58 degree. Now come to the question. We need to find this angle XY, angle XYQ. Where it is? See in the figure, XYQ, which can be written sum of this angle plus this angle. So same we are going to write in the next step. Angle, since now angle, this angle, it is given in question. It is given in question to find the angle XYQ. So right here angle XYQ, which is equal to the sum of these two parts, this part plus this part. Name of this angle XYZ and name of this angle ZYQ. Angle XYZ plus angle ZYQ. So XYZ, it is already given in question 64 degree, and just we got angle ZYQ. You can see here angle ZYQ, how much? 58 degree. Add these two, you will get answer, that is 122 degree. See, 8 plus 4 12, 1 carried, 6 plus 5 11, 1 12, 122 degree. So we got the answer for this angle ZYQ. We calculated. Now come to this. What will be the measurement of reflex angle QYP? So reflex angle QYP. Now we are going to calculate reflex angle QYP. You know the process, 360 degree. In order to find the reflex of any angle, 360 minus this angle QPY, 360 degree minus QPY, just we got here, see here, QPY, sorry QYP. I have written here, mistake is there, QYP, how much we got? See here, QYP we got 58. So subtract these two, you will get answer 302 degree. This is the answer. So thus from our calculation we got reflex angle QYP, how much? 302 degree, and angle XYQ 122 degree, which was given in question to find out. See here, find angle XYQ we got here 122, and angle reflex angle QYP we got 302 degree. This is the solution of question number 6 of exercise 6.1. Before proceeding the new exercise or the new theorem, recall what you have studied in the junior classes about the parallel lines, transversal, non-parallel lines. So these are the very basic things which we need while solving the sums of next exercise. So that is why some basic concept I would like to clear you the basic concept about the parallel line, transversal and non-parallel lines, which we already got in the previous classes. So see, some notes I have written here about the parallel lines. I don't think these all the words are new for you. You already got in junior classes. So come to this is just for the clearance of your basic concept. See about the parallel lines. When two lines are said to be parallel, very simple. You can see lines are said to be parallel if the perpendicular distance at every points are equal. You can see in the diagram I have two lines. You can see here, this is line L and this is line M, and we have taken on each line we have taken 4 points A, B, C, D on the first line, that is on the line L, and in the same way on the line M we have taken the 4 points P, Q, R, S, such that A and P are perpendicular to each other. That means at this point they are making an angle of 90 degree. This is the definition for perpendicular. So see, on comparing their distance, that is the distance between the line L and M at the point, suppose at point P and Q. Suppose the distance between point A and P on measuring we got suppose 2 centimeter. In the same way, if you measure the distance between B and Q, and if you are getting the same, that is 2, previous one it is same 2, again at these 2 points C and R, suppose we got the distance 2, and in the same way at between the point D and S we got the distance between these two line L and M 2 centimeter. That means on every point we are getting the same distance between the line L and M. Hence we can see the line L is parallel to M. Why? Because see the definition, lines are said to be parallel if the perpendicular distances at every points are equal. So we can write, see, their perpendicular distance between the perpendicular distance between line L and M at every point is equal, that is 2 centimeters. So we can write line L is parallel to line M. So this is about the parallel line. And non-parallel line, very simple. Non-parallel line, their distance, if on comparing the two lines, if you are not getting the distance between the given lines at every point, if the distance between the two lines is not equal, then we can say the line thus formed, it will be non-parallel line. Okay, next come transversal. What is a transversal? See, I have written the definition. Transversal, a line which intersect two or more lines at a distinct point, is called a transversal. So when two lines are intersected by a third line at two distinct points, it is called a transversal. You can see line M in the first figure, line M and line L has been intersected by a third line L. So we can say line L will be the transversal. See, line L is the transversal for this figure. Remember what type of line M and L? See, it is moving in this direction and it is moving in this direction. On producing in this side, definitely they will intersect at certain point. So we can say line M and N are non-parallel line. But remember a third line which is intersecting the two given line M and N at these 2 points. So L, the third line L, is called the transversal. In the same way, P and Q are two non-parallel lines, and these two non-parallel lines have been intersected by a third line R. So this green line R is called the transversal for this figure. In the same way, S and T, these two are parallel lines. Why they are parallel? Because the distance between these two, the distance, perpendicular distance between these 2 points, between these two lines at every points are equal. That means very simple. It is very simple to identify parallel line on producing two given line in any one direction. They should not intersect at any point. Then the line will be, we can say the line will be parallel to each other. So see, S and T are two parallel line, and a third line M is intersecting these two parallel lines at this point and at this point. So we can say M is the transversal of line S and T. In the same way, line M and line N has been intersected by a third line L. So we can say L is the transversal for this figure. Okay. Now about the types of angle formed when a transversal intersect two given lines. So I have drawn in the figure two non-parallel line M and N, and the third line L is intersecting these two lines M and N at this point at point P. We have named it P, and here at this point, which is Q. So see, in this figure the line M and N has been intersected by a third line L at point P and Q. So see, on each point, that is on point P and Q, how many angles are formed? See, at point P, this is first angle, second, third, fourth one, and we have named, for our convenience, we have named all these four angles as angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 and angle 4. In the same way, at point Q, four angles has been formed here: angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. So when a transversal intersect any two lines, the four angle thus formed at each point can be categorized as corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, or alternate exterior angles. Okay, let us discuss about the corresponding angles. In this figure, see, line M and N has been intersected by a transversal L. So how will you identify the corresponding angles? So see, if you are taking this angle at point P, correspond of this angle 1 corresponding is angle 5. In the same way, see, angle 1, angle 5, these two are corresponding angle. If you are taking angle 2, so corresponding of this angle 2 corresponding is angle 6, angle 3 corresponding, here it is formed, angle 3 corresponding here, angle 7, angle 4 corresponding, angle 8. See, these two are corresponding, in the same way 6, these two pair of angles are corresponding angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. So see, next, how can we identify alternate interior angles? So see, I have drawn the figure separately to make you understand, so that you can understand it in an easy way. Alternate interior angle, this is our line, first line M, and this is second line N, and these two lines are intersected by a third line N. So we can say N is the transversal of these two lines. So now the question arising here, how can we identify alternate interior angle? See, alternate interior angle, if you are taking this angle, angle 4 alternate, see, it is formed on the left side of transversal and between these two non-parallel line. See, angle 4 interior, alternate interior, angle 4 alternate interior angle, it will be 6. Angle 4 and 6 are alternate interior angle, and the same way alternate interior, one more pair, angle 3 alternate, it will be angle 5. So you can see here 4 and 6, these two angles are said to be alternate interior angle. Angle 3 and 5 are alternate pair of interior angles. Next, alternate exterior angle. Exterior, that means which lie not between these two lines. This type of angle lie outside of the line. Here see, inside the line M angle, these two angle. Angle 3 alternate, angle 5, angle 4 alternate, angle 6. In the same way, alternate exterior angle, if you are taking this angle, angle 2 alternate, angle 8, angle 1 alternate, it will be angle 7. So this is about the alternate exterior angle. Angle 1 and 7 and angle 2 and angle 8. Now come the next topic, interior angles on the same side of transversal. See, these two are non-parallel line and this is the transversal. Transversal we are naming as L. So our topic, interior angles on the same side of transversal, that is, see, this is our transversal. So these two are the angles formed on the same side of the transversal, angle 4 and angle 5. This angle you can see in the figure on the left part, left hand side, this side, and these two on the right hand side. So these two angles are called the angles formed on the same side of the transversal, and these two pair of angles are formed on the left part of the transversal.